Well, howdy buckaroos, this is Hebro, and today we're going to take a look at Rio Blast. Aw, shucks. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I will stop trying to do a really bad accent, and let's check this out. So, I got him. Kind of excited about it. We're going to open him up, compare him with some other ones. So let's go ahead and get out my scissors, my trusty scissors, and let's get this box open and let's take a look at Rio Blast. Dun, dun, dun. Do not adjust your camera. It is not upside down. I just turned the box over. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. All right. So there we go. The box has been opened. You can hear the cheesy music playing now for the old spaghetti westerns. I guess that's Bonanza, isn't it? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And here he is, Rio Blast. And it looks like they put him in a thing you can reclose. So that is really handy. Handy. Now here, he looks a little bit wild. Wild Rio Blast, as he's taking out the horde here. Very cool looking. And here is the Rio Blast that we got in the package. Let's go ahead and rip this package. Actually, no reason to rip it open. Let's just carefully slide the backing off. Whoop. And it's funny, I haven't slid this off yet. I just opened this right in front of you, but this plastic was actually on the outside of it. But let's go and take a look at the comic book first. Let's see, Star Marshal. They got some comics in here to read, and looks pretty cool. That's funny, they got people with cowboy hats on. What? Wait a minute, this guy looks kind of like my Overkill character. I'm going to have to look at this and see. That is crazy. Alright, so here it is. Here is the Rio Blast figure. And let's pop him out of here because I need to hurry and go. Because my wife just said dinner is done. I do not want to miss out on dinner. You know what? I'm going to finish this video later. I'm going to go eat some lasagna. And we will come look at this in a few minutes. So, sit there, buckaroo, and we'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Believe it or not, I had lasagna and watched the show Castle and all kinds of stuff, and now we're back, and let's go ahead and open up this cool figure. So, what's been seconds for you has been almost an hour for me. It's so crazy. Alright, let's go and cut off these little pieces on here. Geben Sie deinem Foot. There we go. All right. So there he is. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go and talk about articulation. So we have ankle articulation. Doesn't seem to move a whole lot because of all the stuff in the way, but then we have a single jointed knees. We have as a hip, waist, shoulder. Then we have his elbow joints. And his wrist here goes back and forth. Oop. Lost his cool little cord there. And this one also goes back and forth. So there, and his head moves too. Doo-doo-doo. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together. That's so weird that it actually goes into his back instead of his backpack. That goes in there deep. You can see there it's got the hole inside the hole inside the hole. So you have to put it in like really deep. And then this goes on. Not very good onto his wrist there. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at his action features. We'll start with the handgun since they're already out. So these seem to just pop out of his hands. Whooshing! So he does the old fling swing underneath, and out they pop. Now because his hands move, it's a little bit strange, because you can fling them out weird. So you want to be careful on the hand moving there. I'm surprised they didn't make that a solid spot. Not completely solid, but so it just rotates. But that's okay. I am fine with that. Let's check out his leg cannons. Chink. There we go. And at first glance, it looks like it would hit here, but it actually does clear it because of the way it's shaped. And now let's look at the gun of power. Dink. There we go. So there he is. Guns a-blazing. Blam, 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 blam. And then he gets on his backpack. Let's see how this pops. Oh, it twists in. Look at that. Ah, I didn't zoom out. Sorry, you guys. Blam, 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 blam. And then this actually twists into place. So you pop it in and then twist. Twist, twist. And once you twist it on there, slide this up and bend it on down. And something I really like about this, which I mentioned online when I saw it, was they have details on the actual scope there. That's so cool. I think that's a really cool touch. I remember seeing people do that. They make like cool little decals for the classics. I never personally made a decal for mine, but that is pretty cool. All right, and you can close them all up. Slide his backpack back down, and he is ready for not battle. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the old 80s one. Now, my 80s one is a little bit different than everyone else's because I do not have the backpack. Don't think I've ever had the backpack for this guy. So let's take a look and imagine this cap actually came from a Thing figure from Fantastic Four, and it was the one that came with the coat and stuff. And you can see here's the ridge for his forehead for the Thing, and I just loved how it fit on his head. And being able to have a backpack, it made a lot of sense. He's a cowboy figure to give him that cowboy hat. So I'll take it off for now so you guys can see the original figure. We'll just set him next to him, and we'll pop the chest open. There's the gun. Pop the chest open. There's the gun. Very similar. We'll do the arm fling. Whoosh. Ho! And there it is. Arm fling. Chink. There it is. Now what's funny is I never remembered this actually just being on his arm. I'm so used to the classics, I just thought it was connected. That's funny. That's actually pretty funny. All right, let's take a look at the leg gun now. And you can see there it is. It is more prominent. It stands up taller. I like that it's taller on the original one. I wish this one was taller too. But you can see the leg cavity on here is way deeper. Look how deep that leg cavity goes in comparison to the Origins. So that might be why it's so different. They can't have the gun stick up too high, because then look how far that goes in there. Right into that leg cavity. I don't know how deep that would be on the back side, how much meat you have left, but that goes in really deep. Even the gun on his chest, wait a minute, the old one twisted on too. Does it fit? Oh, it's so close. They would have just made it like a 1/4 inch one direction or the other. You could have used the new one on his back, and that would have worked. I mean, I suppose you could carefully cut this off and just twist the top one on there. Nope, even that doesn't work. Can't even shove the top one by itself into the hole. Bummer. I was hoping to use this backpack to augment my old one. Alright, so you can see there how they look side by side. So I do like the tubes being external better than the 80s one. That's way cool. Way cool, man. I do like that the hands have articulation and stuff. That's pretty cool too. I don't like that they go all the way through the hands, but the original one did the same thing too. I don't like that the guns aren't as deep or as big. I do like that the chest gun is the same size and looks like it's an exact, well, it's not an exact duplicate, but it is really, really close. And he does look just like his predecessor. Very cool. Let's see if the hat fits him. Yeah. It's a little bit loose on there, but it's a little bit loose on the other guy's head too. That's funny. The Ben Grimm hat has been passed down from figure to figure. Alright, so it's funny is let's take a look at the classics for a minute. Put the hat back on him. I've had it on there since the 80s. Since the 90s. I think the figure came out in the 90s. And we'll stick his backpack back on. Backpack of power! We'll just have him be normal. Instead of the arsenal. And here we go. Here is the one that we got for classics. Bum, bum, bum. Now, classics, they did not go with the idea of having all the stuff slide in. So his guns don't rotate, and his backpack doesn't close, or not his backpack, but his stomach piece doesn't close with a gun on there. His leg pieces don't close with the guns on there. You have to pull them all off and then close them. Now, I believe this one I glued all the parts. Yeah, I did. So I wanted to have one that was all ready for battle all the time. So this is my all ready for battle one. And one thing they did at this is they did give him very fat armor. So you can see how fat this armor is here. So this is my all ready for battle version, and he is all gung-ho. And this actually plugs into the backpack, which is a little bit different. Oh, I guess this one does come off. I guess I didn't glue that one. The other ones might not be glued either, but I'm not going to rip them off. We'll just leave them for now. And let's take a look at him in his not battle ready state. Stand, man, stand. Oh, come on. Stand, will you? Let's see if I got one over here. Oh. It's still... I do not. Okay, so I have one right here, and this is not totally one that has not been customized a little bit. So this is my not ready for battle one. He only has just one gun out. I thought that, it's pretty fitting. I did give him Brave Star's hat, as you can see, and I got rid of the fat armor syndrome. So I took and cut off the armor, and I re-glued these together so his arms can actually go down to his sides and not be sticking out. And I glued these shut so they don't open, because they kept popping open. I'd actually sand them down to fit in there. And then I had to cut a hole in his chest so this would actually close all the way. And then I used some some silver tape right there. Okay, it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go grab one that has not been altered at all so you guys can see. Hold up a sec. All right, I found this guy in my spare figures. It's not one I was planning on grabbing, but on the way to my shelf, I saw this one just sitting there. And I like to buy Rio Blast when I can, and people are selling them really cheap. And this was like a loose one somebody had. And you can see, if you put his arms down, how he has that wide arm stance, especially on this side. It's really bad. And his leg pieces don't close all the way because they hit right there for the Classics one, which is why I had to sand those down and glue them together for my non-battle one. And then even on here on this chest piece, again, it doesn't close all the way because it hits right there. And then his guns literally plug into his arms right here. So if you were to get this figure and you wanted to get him ready for battle, first you got the fat armor syndrome. So when he puts his stomach up, it looks like that. And okay, let's go ahead and transform him. Dude. Stay. All right. Oh, into the TV screen. I don't have any handguns in here. Oh, I have to borrow someone else's handguns. So you first open the chest. You would stick this in that little slot right there. Yeah. And then you would open up the legs and put these on there. And they always kept popping off. It's not a very good... I was super disappointed when I got this in Classics. So disappointed. And then his arm cannons. We'll just grab his. Hey, those are mine. And they just slide into his forearms right there. And you twist his hands in order to line them up. Like he's hanging out of the middle part. Slide that one in there as well. Firmly grasp it, but don't break it. All right. There we go. I got it now. And then his backpack goes on there. And these little stringy things plug into his arms. There we go. And then this folds down. And we got ourselves a guy ready for battle. There we go. And that is how you would transform him. What a hassle. Now, I do not know. I don't know why Mattel just did not make his chest open up. We did have Buzzsaw Hordak where his chest popped open and he was able to actually shoot out his buzzsaw. Hold on. So I made my own bad guy for Rio Blast, and I called this guy Overkill. Let me get his cowboy hat. Hold on. There it is. There it is. And since I used Brave Star's cowboy hat on him, I figured I would use the bad guy from Brave Star on Overkill. Now, you guys should recognize that face right there. It's Lobo from DC Build-A-Figure. And it was the coolest Lobo figure, I think, ever. It actually uses the same parts as the He-Man's figures. It's pretty cool. All right, now, here's what I was planning on doing, is making my own. And so I was all excited about this, but I never could get it to work right. But check this out. When I open up this, oh, he has the gun. Now, I had to redesign this gun to fit on both sides of this, but it's so cool that he can actually store the gun in his chest just like it's supposed to be. So the bad guy can do it. It's just kind of frustrating we can't do it with our cowboy over there for Classics. But Overkill was like one of my favorite customs. I actually have a lot of favorite customs. He's a really cool custom, but he's basically the Horde cowboy counterpart to Rio Blast. I love that though. Isn't that so cool? Look at this. Let's watch it again. Watch it again. It's so cool. Blam, 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 blam. Look at that. And you can see how different it is from the Rio Blast one. It's actually bigger. It's, I think, a little better designed than the one for Rio Blast. So, and again, it's wider. Originally, I used Rio Blast's gun in there, but it wasn't wide enough to fit across there. Even though it has a slight angle to it, that angle was not enough to make up the difference. Look how cool that looks. I know, I'm not supposed to groove on my own stuff. My wife tells me all the time, stop grooving on your own stuff. Anyway, I'm going to steal these guns back from my guy, and the extra guy is going to go back into his bag. Slide in there. That's funny. It actually fits better in the hands of my regular guy instead of, look at that. It's like it's actually holding the guns correctly to actually shoot them. That's cool. Okay. We will pop off all your accessories. I think I bought him for the extra guns. I think I had some missing guns one time and I was really disappointed and upset. So I ended up buying another one. And that way then I'd have the guns to use. Stand, man. Okay, one more figure to show you. I guess I can put all this stuff away later. And that is my before he gets his cybernetic parts, Rio Blast that I made. And his name's just Rio, has no blast on the end. And I decided to give him guns that are like Marshall Bravestar, except for they have an angle to them because all He-Man's hands have an angle to them for classics. And I sanded and glued these on really good, so it's just his chaps. And then I used this armor here from what is Eldor. And then I made this hat and I fashioned it from the design of what I remember this hat looking like. So it's kind of funny. It's not exactly, but you can see the stylistic style is almost the same because in my mind, that's been a cowboy hat for years, even though it's not. And I think it actually works on him. It's not perfect, but I think it works. So there you go. You now have my whole history. Look, watch this. Watch. It just fits right in there. Bum, bum, bum. Just like it's supposed to. See? It's about time. Hopefully they make this guy in Masterverse with holes in his chest so you can actually close it up. And look at the detailing inside there. They actually have gadgetry and stuff. Where this one, the old D4, was just... Well, they had some in there too. What? I like the new one better. Which, usually I don't say that, but I'm telling you, these Origins, they did a really good job on these figures. I just love the way these Origins figures are coming out. They are so cool. Let's see if he pulls apart. I'm afraid to keep pulling. I guess I could look at his thing. Oh, a horse. I got a horse, of course. I do have a brown one of these somewhere too. I don't know where it's at. But this is a smaller horse than I usually use for my horses because it is a smaller scale for my Origins. And let's go ahead and see how he sits on there. Ho! Da-da-dun-da-dun-da-da! Of course, that horse does look a little bit small. It works good for the female figures like Tila, but for someone as big and bulky as him, it does look a little bit ridiculous. Oh, you're breaking my legs. Don't go breaking my legs. Dun 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 dun. Ho! Yeah, look at the horse size difference. See, here's the horse I usually stick my Rio Blast on. How would he look on that larger horse? Oh yeah, it's just ridiculous too. That's way too big for that guy. Be a monstrous horse. All right, well, I think I have covered the full gambit on everything. I guess we could take a camera shot over there at the one of Rio Blast's cohorts that I have made. There she is. Anyway. And I think that's it. And like they say in the 1987, we don't say goodbye, we say good journey. Good journey, partner. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, wait a minute. Why are you shooting the audience, man? Anyway, it is kind of funny. So cool. So cool. Especially the radar. Radar or rally. Look at that. I know the video is supposed to be over, but it's just so cool. All the little things they put into this. And it looks good too. And I have been pretty upset with the McFarlane figures lately with the faces, but they're doing a good job on the Origins faces. Not so well on the Masterverse faces. As you guys know, I've complained about them too many times. But the Origins, they're nailing it. All right. This is it for real. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe.